Hello again. This is another video. I've been several this week. I'm trying to keep up with my resolution of videoing more, and so far so good. We'll see how it goes. Earlier on today I was speaking to an old university friend on Facebook, and she seemed impressed that I was able to send a message to her in Norwegian. She's Norwegian and was studying in Durham University at the same time that I was, but she's gone over to Norway now. And she'd said something that I understood because I've been learning the language, and seemed impressed that I could write it. So I thought I'd just show that I do understand a bit of it. I'm still learning quite slowly. In fact, I've got my own Teach Yourself Norwegian book, which I've been using, the book and CD package, and that's very good, by the way. And I'm just learning in this little spare time that I have. But I thought I'd say something just to get in a response if anyone sees this on pronunciation, because I'm pretty sure it's quite bad. So, jeg lærer norsk. Jeg lærer fordi jeg vil gjerne lese det nemlig seg I norsk. That's probably really bad, and I'm probably not doing the up and down pronunciation that you're supposed to do, but it's early days, what can I say? I used to try and learn languages on the train when I was going to and from work, but I work from home now, so it's a bit difficult to try and learn it on my morning commute from the kitchen to my office, especially when in one hand you're carrying a cup of tea and you can't really turn the pages in the book. So I'm trying to put aside an hour or so a day for little things like learning other languages, or just shooting people in the head on things like my current favourite is Halo Reach on Xbox Live. I'm really having fun with that game, and I'm especially having fun with the people that have got those flaming heads. I don't know why people seem to be so impressed with the idea of getting a flaming skull helmet, because I like to shoot people from a long distance, and if you're hiding behind something, normally I can't see you, but if you've got a flaming head, all the smoke comes up above the things you're hiding behind. So either don't try and hide, or hide behind something a bit taller, because I can still see you, and if I can see you I can probably shoot you. And it's not just me. The guy that's behind you that you didn't see, he can probably see you as well. But my biggest problem at the moment is I'm losing my ability to shoot people in the head on Halo Reach, because today, funnily enough, I seem to have no coordination whatsoever. So far I've tripped over my own feet, almost fallen down the stairs. What else have I done? Oh yes, I dropped a load of things that I was moving in my office onto my finger. And that might not sound quite that bad, but if you notice here, one of my fingers doesn't bend. See? That's the reason for this is there is no joint in it. That's as far as it moves, and I can't move it on my own. All these other fingers, they bend. That one doesn't. See? So I dropped the books and things that I was moving onto this finger, and that joint, it has nerves in it. Lots and lots of nerves. It's my own personal barometer. But I found that it's also really, really good for making go ah in a very, very loud voice, and having people rush in to find out what's wrong. So that was fun, a version of fun that isn't. So I don't know what the reason is for this sudden lack of coordination. I think perhaps it's a combination of the fact that I've had very little sleep all week because I've been working my arse off, and the fact that I really wasn't paying much attention to what I was doing. But never mind. It's over and done with now, and when it stops aching, I'll be quite happy. So what I'm really wanting to talk to you about today was this thing that's going around Facebook and LinkedIn. It's apparently from a 98-year-old woman who wrote to her bank for charging her for apparently going over her overdraft limit or something when she was trying to pay her plumber. And what I have to say is, first of all, yes, it's really funny. It's quite a long rambling rant from a woman to her bank saying that she's not going to put up with the impersonal service that she gets from them now. And says you've got to dial 1 to speak to her on her phone and things like that. It's very silly. And I have to say, Guys, it's fake. For a start, there are massive warning signs in it. She refers to repayments of a loan. Well, she's 98-year-old. No bank is gonna, even the banks that were causing their credit crunch or recession, as most normal people would call it, even those banks wouldn't lend money to a 98-year-old woman because the risk is just too big. Any bank that gives you money is expecting to get it back. It's expecting to get something from it. So not only are you going to have to pay the money back, but you're going to have to pay interest payments on that. Well, a 98-year-old woman, I'm sorry to say, is unlikely to be around long enough to pay this back. So the second reason I'm going to say this is fake is because apparently this is copied from the Times. A bank manager has taken a letter from a customer and sent it to the Times to get it published. I don't think so. Now, not only is a bank manager who gets a letter of complaint to their bank published in a national newspaper going to either be fired or at least severely disciplined for bringing the bank into disrepute, and also for severe data protection issues, because it's a letter from a customer dealing with the customer's issues. You don't go and then publish that in a national paper. But of course, it may have been published in the Times, but which Times? There are several Times around the world. I'm going to assume that's the Times from Britain because it mentions pounds. But which issue? What month? What day? Nothing like that is mentioned. Just that this was published in the Times. Well, I read the Times. I don't remember seeing it. So there you are. Sorry to break that to you guys, but funny as it is, and nice to think that people are taking a stand against these arbitrary charges, like someone did before when they sent it to the court, and then the court went, yeah, actually you've signed a contract. But that's nice, but come on. Don't just take everything at face value. That's all I've got to say on that one, really. So, nice, funny, but never mind. Just as a third and final thing, I was thinking about language while I was doing that bit of Norwegian at the start. And the funniest thing I have to say is, when I'm trying to think of words in Norwegian, other languages come to mind. I had to learn French at school, so funnily enough, instead of thinking of a word in English that I don't know, I'm thinking, how do I say X, Y, and Z when I'm trying to translate it? Instead of getting the English version in my head of how do I say X, Y, and Z, it comes up in French. And I've spoken to a few people about this, and apparently it's not that uncommon. If you know several languages, you won't go back to your native language when you're trying to think of words. When you're trying to think of a word in a foreign language, oddly enough, you won't usually go for your native language when you don't know a phrase. You'll go for another foreign language that you know. And I always think that's a bit weird. It's almost as if your brain is saying, well, I don't know it in language X, but here's something in language Y. And it's like, thanks, brain, that's not what I need. My other one is I tend to over-confuse Norwegian and German. So when I was trying to think of the word new in Norwegian, ni, N-Y, ni, it was just coming up as a neuer instead, which, great, that means nothing. I might as well have said hat stand or cheese or whatever. And I just think that's quite interesting. It's almost as if my brain goes, well, today we've got for you this strange tombola of words that you'll never find any use for at all. Here you go. You can't have what you wanted, but here's some random stuff instead. So, thanks, brain. So there you have it. It's a bit of a hodgepodge today, which I apologise for. A bit uncoordinated in more ways than one, I suppose. I'll try to be back on track with something a bit more focused next week. So until then, see ya. I don't know why I'm holding my hand up in my head. It's not like I can pull words out of my head like that.